Join me for pro tips on how to trim an elegant and luxurious tree like this one. All right, let's get started. The first thing that you need to do if you are using artificial, whether this is a tree, a wreath, a garland, whatever it is, you have to fluff it. I know it's tedious and it takes time, but it's gonna make the end result so much better. All right, and we're definitely doing the back of the tree. So I'm going to pull this out in the middle so I can get behind it. All right, next, lights. This is a pre-lit tree. This is actually, it's an inexpensive tree from Target, but that's okay. I still think it's pretty. It is pre-lit, but something I've noticed over the years is that the middle of it is dark and it always bugs me. So I'm going to add another strand of lights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed these lights through the tree, kind of in the middle, but I'll bring some toward the edges too, just to kind of blend them with the other lights. So I think I'm gonna bunch them up. I'm gonna get down underneath toward the middle of the tree and try to wind them around like that. Hang on, I think I just had a great idea. I put my lights in a clear plastic bag. A cylinder would be even better because I want to be able to hold them all together, feed them out, and not have this tangled mess. And that didn't work at all. All right, idea number 2. I'm going to take the end of the light, not the light that plugs in, but the other end. This is a wrapping paper tube, but you could use a paper towel tube. I cut a slot in it. I'm gonna feed this into the slot just to hold it, like that, so it's held secure. And I'm going to wrap these lights on this tube. All right, there it is. Looks still pretty pokey and enough to plug in the end. Does this feed in easier? Okay, that worked so well, wrapping the lights around a paper towel tube or a wrapping paper tube. It just made it so much more manageable. Next, I'm gonna do ribbon. Look at this gorgeous stuff. Oh, this is so beautiful. I wish I knew where to source this. I don't anymore. This is a very old ribbon. My husband used to sell ribbon, and this was one of the patterns many years ago, and I've saved it. I don't cut it, I leave it on the roll. All right, I'm gonna do a big bow at the top and leave long tails that I'm going to tuck into the tree. And if you do want to use ribbon, it's a lot easier to put it on first, after the lights rather, unless you're just gonna tuck in bows. But if you wanna weave it in, put the ribbon in first. This is 25 yards of ribbon on one of these rolls. I'm gonna pull it all off the roll. All right, it's all off. I'm saving my spool because I'm going to wind that back up after the holiday. I want about I'll just say 5 yards for the bow. I'm gonna make it big and I'm gonna make it fluffy so I can wrap it around the back so I don't have to make a back bow. So that leaves about 2 10-yard tails. So I'm gonna measure off about 10 yards so I know where to start my bow. I think that looks about right. Look down below in the description and I will put in yardages, information that will help you decide how much yardage you will need for your tree. Right, now I'm going to make a big bow. I did a whole video on bow making. I will link it below, but I'll show you how I do it now. Here's the beginning of my bow. Coming in close. I am going to make a middle for the bow. So this is a two-sided ribbon, right? So I'm going to twist it, and I'm going to make a loop that goes around like this. Okay. So I have a bow. Then I'm going to twist. And I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to twist. I'm twisting for two reasons. One, if you don't, the wrong side of the ribbon will show. And two, twisting kind of gives it a little bit of body, but this is a wired ribbon, so it has its own body. So I make the loop on the other side. I'm going to do it again. Make another, oops, make another loop and another loop. I'm going to make two more loops, I think. Loop, twist and loop. Don't feel bad. Watch the bow video. Let me know if you want any more bow tutorials. I used to be a florist and I worked at a big nursery, so I've made thousands of bows. It takes a little practice. It's like anything else, but once you get used to it, you get good at it, and then it's just like riding a bike. I decided to do two more loops. All right, that's probably about 5 yards of ribbon, believe it or not. I have a chenille stem, one of these pipe cleaner looking things. I'm gonna feed it. I'll make a U out of it so that it's easier for you to understand. I feed it through my fingers. I get it through that loop. So that I can grab all the ribbon with it. Okay, can you guys see that? Let me turn the light on a little bit more. And I'm gonna twist it pretty tight, but because I love this ribbon, I don't wanna damage the ribbon, but it really should be tight. And then, because this is wired, see, I can just start moving these loops around like this. And you end up with a big, beautiful bow. All right, so I'm moving some of these big loops to the back. Then you just take these tails and start to tuck them in. What I like to do is come out and go in, all the way into the center of the tree, and out and in, out and in, out and in. And what this does is really create a lot of depth. You can do, you know, the spiral around the tree. That's another pretty way you can do ribbon. And if you like a more whimsical tree, that looks really cute. Even if you don't tuck it in, you just kind of leave it on the surface. For this tree, because I want it to be kind of a luxurious tree, I'm going to not do the spiral, but kind of bring it around back, bring it around front, bring it around back, bring it around front. And I'm going to tuck it in. So in these lower parts of the tree, there's big spaces, and I want to make sure that I'm pushing the ribbon all the way into those big spaces, because the ribbon is going to help me fill those spaces. All right, there's the ribbon. See, I've just kind of loosely wound it and pushed it into the center of the tree. Let's see if I can get a good shot. Something I'm noticing is that the LED lights flicker on camera. All right, this year's tree is going to be golden white with just hints of silver because I usually do silver on the mantle, so I want a little something to tie it in. And at this step now the tree, you've got your lights on, you've got your ribbon on if you're going to use it. Now is the time to tuck large items inside the tree if you're going to use them. If you want that look where there's kind of big things centered inside the tree. I don't have any large gold or white ornaments. I could tuck these snowflakes in. That would look really good. But I usually use these on the mantle. So just to give you an idea, you just tuck these large items into the tree like this. And what this does is, again, it just adds a lot of dimension to the tree and fullness to the tree if you're looking for that real full, lush look. I'm not going to use these in the center because I do want them for my mantle. So what I'm going to do instead is start tucking balls in toward the center of the tree so that the tree has that thick, full, layered look. So I'm going to get some ornaments inside the tree and in the back. I have a slate floor here, so if anything falls, it will just shatter. So I just try to balance getting some in the back, then I'll push the tree back, then I'm going to put my tree skirt down, or at least the beginning of it. What I do is I take some old rugs and I build up a base, and then I do my tree skirt on that. And it gives it texture and dimension, and also some padding so that if my glass ornaments fall, they have some padding to fall on. Okay, so I have ornaments on the inside of the tree, kind of tucked in, and I also kind of decorated the back a little bit, not all the way, but I want to get it pushed up against the wall, and then it's difficult to get back here. All right, so I've got the tree pushed back into the corner, and you can see that I've just kind of put some rugs and things around the base. I will cover those with, I have some gold and white fabric that I'll show you in a little bit, but this, it just cushions it in case of falls. All right, so now it's time to just finish and fill the tree in. I don't have a lot of specialty ornaments in the gold, white, silver theme, but I do have a few. So I'm going to place those first so that they have the prime position to show off the best, and then I'm going to fill in around them. Ooh, found a pretty one. Okay, I think I'm ready for the tree skirt. I wanted to point out that formula. that I used to do my mantle. It's an easy 5-step formula. Base, anchor, focal, accent, fluff. You can see it in this tree. The base would be the tree skirt and the tree itself. The anchor, the ribbon just kind of flowing through. The focal are the ornaments. The accent would be the smaller ornaments like the star. And then fluff, which I do not have in this tree, but you could. You could do gold leaves or silver leaves or white berries. That would look beautiful too. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was fun and helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm going to do a bow at the top, and then I'm going to leave long tails that I will tuck in. My husband just flushed the toilet.